Voodoo number 8, written by Joshua Williamson and Sammy Basri. Last issue we left off with Voodoo appearing before Priscilla, Blackjack, and Fallon. Blackjack attacked, and Voodoo cut off his head. So yeah, this issue picks up immediately in the aftermath of that. Priscilla's narrating is just like, I'm sorry, did I just see myself cut off the head of that man? So she starts freaking out about it. Immediately, Fallon, though, is on his case, just being like, okay, you're going to die now. Like, this is going to happen. She's like, you know I'm stronger than you, right? Like, there's not a lot you can do. And Fallon realizes that she doesn't really have a lot of cards to play here, so she plays the one that she does have, which is Priscilla. And she takes Priscilla hostage, gun to her head, and says, if you don't let us, like, leave, if you don't surrender, whatever it is she's looking for here, then I'm going to kill her, and she is definitely the key for you to get answers about your past. You need her alive. And Priscilla's like, Fallon, what in the hell are you doing? And she's like, shut up, all right, just go with it. And Voodoo is just like, okay, but I don't care about that. Like, that's not that big of a deal to me, but like, you can tell it is. Meanwhile, two of the Black Razors who are watching the scene are just like, okay, so Blackjack just died. What do we do? And they're like, we need new orders. So they call over to Andrew Lincoln of the Blackhawks, the book that just had its last issue this week. And it even makes the mention of him faking his own death, which he did in that issue. And he showed up at the Black Razor compound where the break-in happened. And he gets a call being like, yeah, hello? What? Blackjack's dead? All teams move out. We gotta go. And that'll come up later. So as Priscilla's trying to figure out what the hell Fallon is doing because she's not being very upfront, she's like, I can't believe you're using me as a pawn. I trusted you. And she's like, continue to trust me and just go with this. And she slips something into Priscilla's pocket. But then Priscilla's literally just not getting it. And she headbutts Fallon and just like, screw this, I'm out. And she just flies away and starts like running. And Fallon's like, okay, maybe I should have been a bit more upfront. My bad. But anyway, a fight breaks out between Voodoo and Fallon. But Voodoo's like, oh, I'm sorry. You do understand I have been in your head, right? I can literally do things that will make you not attack me. For instance, and she transforms back into the body of the like boyfriend from before. I'm blanking on his name, but regardless, Evans, that was it. He shows up and he's like, hey, babe, long time no see. How about you come here, give me a hug? And she's like, that's gross, and tries shooting at her again. But then the story boils down to basically Voodoo trying to convince Fallon that Evans, when Voodoo looked into Evans' head, he saw that he never loved her. He never loved her the entire time. But for that one night where she pretended to be Evans, for that brief moment, Voodoo truly did love Fallon. And the entire time Fallon is hearing this, she's like, that's a load of crap. Shut up. And she's like, all right, fair enough. And then she just stabs Fallon straight through the chest. Just giant, sharp object. Fallon is almost certainly dead. And she's like, all right, yeah, you got me. That night meant nothing. Anyway, I got to go find my original. Meanwhile, the original, during all this, came to the conclusion that Fallon, was playing a con because she found the object that was slipped into her pocket. And so Priscilla comes back and starts attacking Voodoo, but Voodoo's just a bit too fast for her. She's like, you do understand that I've got genetically, like, above you. I am a hybrid to improve. Like, you can't lay a finger on me. And she's like, maybe not, but I wasn't trying to swipe you. And we see that she planted the bomb, or whatever this device was, on Voodoo's chest, which then goes off and electrocutes her and knocks her out. For just a second, though. Because then when Voodoo stands back up, she transforms to the clothing of Priscilla. So now they look absolutely identical. And they're just like, hey, why don't we work together? Because, like, you have to wonder why the Damonites chose you to, like, clone. There has to be a reason there, right? And she's like, I don't care. And she's like, yeah, you do. Come on, let's work together. But then before they can continue that conversation, the Black Razors come in. And Andrew Lincoln's telling them, all right, here's what I need from you guys. I need you to capture the human one and kill the alien one. And the team's like, sir, they are completely identical. What do we do? And he's like, capture them both and then we'll kill the right one later. So they start trying to capture them. One of them freaks out and says, you will never take me alive, Black Razors, and jumps off and runs away. The other one is a lot easier to capture, and she's like, no, please, you gotta let me go. If she escapes again, we're never gonna find her. Come on, son of a bitch. And then Lincoln's like, tough call, but I'm gonna say that the one that we managed to capture is probably the human, and the one that ran away is probably Voodoo. So go after Voodoo. And of course some Black Razors do, but she transforms into a bird and manages to escape them. And Priscilla hears this over their comms and starts just like punching at them because it's like, you let them go again? What in the hell is wrong with you? But then Andrew Lincoln himself literally shows up here and he walks up to Priscilla and says like, look, here's the thing. Yeah, you shouldn't trust us. We don't trust us. I don't trust us. But you aren't going to be arrested. You aren't going to be trapped in that cage again. We are offering you a job. Would you like to be a Black Razor? And that's where we leave off. This story had a lot in it. This was a thick one, but it was solid the whole way through. I really felt like. I mean, we've got a major character death in Fallon. She's been around since issue 1, assuming she is actually dead. We don't see the body, but I mean, it was very graphic, the page where she died. So, no, I enjoy this a lot. The art, fantastic the whole way through. My only critique is that, like, they had that part where Andrew, like, tried to make the distinction of which one was the human and which one was the alien. And despite the fact they both resisted, I would go ahead and say the one that said, hiss, you'll never catch me, Black Razors. I'm going to go ahead and chalk that up to being the alien. That seems like the alien thing to do. But beyond that, fine issue overall. I would go ahead and give it a 7.5. I think it is very well done. I have said this over and over again, but Voodoo was always a surprise for me, and I am very happy with how it's turning out throughout this. I believe this is actually the last trade of this book, so we don't have much longer on it, but I am interested to see how they develop it right up until the end.